Today I am doing something really exciting. I'm going to the World Cup volunteer tryouts. This is so exciting, but it's in this building, like right here. But yeah, it starts in about an hour, so I'm excited. I can already see like a little bit of the branding like leading up to it, but I'm so excited, but I'm also kind of nervous. Here we go. Just logged in, but now we're gonna go down these stairs.
What color is it? I was like around here.
We're doing a rock, paper, scissors competition now. I lost first round.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Mitsubishi E33, 34.
And we're done. Time to go home.
The next day.
I am now back at home, and I'm going to tell you all about my experience, what I expected, what to expect if you get invited, because they are doing another round. So if you haven't got an email yet for the first round for Vancouver tryouts, they could have a second round, they're saying. So be aware of that in your emails. But what my experience, it was so different than I was expecting. If you've watched videos on TikTok, YouTube of the ones done in the US, it's very different than the ones that's done here and in Vancouver. So I've watched a lot of videos where they had mini interviews, they had like fun little games to do, and we still did that. We just did a different version of the same kind of tryouts. Each city gets to do their own way of doing things for the tryouts, of how they want to represent their city, their country, type of thing. What actually happened, because of course you've seen all the clips of what I've like kind of gone through, but like what actually happened in the step process was we entered into the building and there's like a photo op area, as you saw me get my little photo with the sign, and then as you enter in they give you like little pom-poms if you want, and then they also have like little snacks of like their sponsors, so like Coca-Cola, and they had like chips. And then we just sat down in this like huge conference room with like, I swear, 200 people, and I feel like it was not what I was expecting in the sense of like the age range of people. I was expecting a lot of people to be like me and like students wanting to like work in the World Cup, but most people were like 40-year-olds and up, and I was like, okay, not what I was expecting, but like cool. I mean, they have maybe more time on their hands, unlike us students who were like rushing around to finish school. But then they just started off like chatting and like telling a little bit about like what you're here. They did a couple cool, like really cool montages of like all the teams, like old clips from like the first FIFA Cups they filmed to now, like not this year of course because they haven't filmed it yet, but like the last one that they had, and it was really cool. Like that was like honestly my favorite part, was watching those videos, which is kind of funny. And then we all got these little stickers of different colors. So mine was the green team, so I had like a little green sticker, and then there was red, yellow, and blue. So those were the 4 teams, and basically what they did to split those up was to do different activities. So there's 4 different activities, and 2 of them they did together in like a room, like so 2 groups were together, and then you would go off and do 2 different activities and like switch with the other team. So the one I started with was, we had a Q&A session, so it was just kind of like if you had any questions you wanted to ask about the volunteer program or anything about the day. The people who were there were like the volunteer coordinators for Canada, for Vancouver, like so they had the answer to every question you may have. So that went on for a little while, and then they also went through every single role option that there is to get in Vancouver. So that way when you select your choices of like what you want to do the most in your profile, you know exactly what you're putting yourself into. It doesn't mean you'll get that role, because some roles have like 4 people in it, but they went through every single role just to so you know about that. That was like the information part. And then once you finish that, you switch with the other 2 teams that go in there, and then we went out. And then the one activity I didn't film was, we did this one called Act It Out. So basically they gave everyone a little scenario, and like I think we had like 6 teams or something within our team, and you had to try to act out the scenario and like what would you do in that situation if it were to happen. So in like my scenario, it was like you're rehearsing doing ceremonies, which is like when you're holding out the flags and you're not supposed to film, and someone was wearing their meta glasses and they were filming the whole thing, and they're like, hey, I got it all on film, I'm gonna post it all over TikTok, like what would you do in that scenario? So we had to kind of act it out of like what would we do to talk about it. And then after that happened, we kind of went through all of them. Some of them were a little bit questionable, but it was I guess funny. There was definitely a lot of characters to say. Like there's people who were so confident, but it was like confident in the sense where I'm like, okay, like in a regular job interview you probably wouldn't be going that crazy, and like this is low-key like that, so you don't want to be like going crazy. And some people were, and I was like, oh, let's hope they don't get in like a coordinator role, it might be a little hectic kind of thing. But after that we switched with the other team, and then we went and did a puzzle competition, which I did film, and we did 2 different puzzles, the one I showed in the photo, and then there was one right behind us that we did, and everyone was like, that one's the hardest, like you're gonna not do as well in this one, because we won the first one like so easily. And then we did the second one and we also won it before anyone else finished. So that was like, woo, we did good at that, and I feel like I like puzzles, so it wasn't too bad. And then we went back into the main room with everybody all together, and we did a cheer competition. So each group did a cheer. That I think didn't work as well as they hoped it would, and maybe it did for the coordinators of like the volunteer sessions, but the groups were like 50 people, so that when we were trying to come up with a cheer, like all the people who were extremely loud like tall people were all in the middle of this circle, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and they weren't like reaching back to be like, hey, what do you guys think, or like opening up the circle for everyone. So I'm like sitting way in the back because I'm just shorter, and I just like couldn't help or participate, and like only allowed 5 people to like go up and do the cheer. Yeah, so they were just like, we're gonna do it, like didn't even bother asking really anyone else if they really wanted to do it. So it was just kind of like hard in that sense, and I get they were trying to do that to see kind of how people's characters and stuff work together, but you know, it's how it goes. We got second place. They were like between us and the red team for the cheer competition, but we lost, but that's okay. If you saw, my team was a little bit on the crazier side of the cheer, but that's okay. And yeah, and at the end they just showed us another fun like little montage video, and then we went home, and that was it. Oh, I guess we did also, we got like little stickers at the end we got to put to be part of like a little sticker piece. I put mine on so bad if you saw the video, but it's okay. I'm sure some people's were worse. There was one that someone still had like the actual paper from the sticker on there, and I was like, do they not know how this works? But it's okay. I thought that was funny. But yeah, on the way home you get an email. So in a lot of the videos and TikToks I saw, you do one-on-one interviews, and they ask you all these questions like, what are 3 things someone would describe you, and like if you were to play a position in soccer, like which one would you choose, kind of thing. So we did that in a form rather than in one-on-one interview. So I feel like it was a weird way of doing it, because yeah, they got to see all the people try out, but how are they supposed to know like who I was unless I really, yeah, I could really stand out. But if I'm standing out too much, it could be a bit like, ooh, that's too much of a personality. So I'm not really sure what that works, but I mean, like, I guess that's, they're basing it more off of the form and like your abilities that you already have, how many languages you know, to make it kind of come up for it. But yeah, they did ask you kind of like, why do you want to volunteer, and they have a bunch of check boxes. So like one would be like, because I want to watch the game, and when you're volunteering you're not watching the game. So they kind of, I think, want to get people not to do that kind of thing, or like somewhere like, I want to work as a team, I want to get experience for a future career, like putting all that down, checking those boxes. And then yeah, the weirdest question was just like, if you were to play a position in soccer, whether it's a ref, a fan, a coach, a defender, a midfielder, or a striker, like which one would you be? Because they're all very different. Where I put striker because it was someone who strives for a lot of goals, or like you could put fan, like someone always there to cheer people on. So like that can kind of help you kind of define you what role you would take, whether you're to be more of a leader or more just like there to help or more to cheer. Like it kind of puts you in the right position of what you want to do. If you talk a lot, then you can go into more of a role where they're talking, socializing more with fans or other people around. That's kind of like the whole experience that I went through. I don't think it was anything crazy. I don't think it was exactly what I expected from seeing all those fun videos of like getting to see that kind of thing of everything, but there is a lot of volunteers, and I understand that like in Canada they had the most people try to volunteer for it. We'll see. I won't find out till like January, February, like end of January, beginning of February, I think. Maybe later than February, because I only found out about the tryouts a week before I went. My tryout were on November 30th, and I only found out on like, I think November like 25th, 26th. So they only tell you like a week before. So when you are, you have to be planned to be open to that. And there was days before, like it was a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, whatever tryout. Like ours was like the 6th session they did, and I think there was like the 1,000th person who had tried out in it. So there was a lot of people who had been there, and you never know if you're gonna get in or not, because they can have a max of like 3,000 people, and they're doing all those sessions plus they're gonna do another round of sessions. But yeah, that was my experience. If you do get to go, that's kind of what your experience will be like in Vancouver. They may change it up with after how they reflect of doing different sessions, or seeing, hopefully not seeing this video, but yeah, that was my experience in the Vancouver World Cup tryout. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you went and you were there with me, let me know in the comments, or if you volunteered, or if you have any questions, I could definitely answer them in the comments that I found out from and through that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.